But yeah, there's that. Again, it makes sense symbolically, but it doesn't really make sense logically. Is this why? What do you think of my gamer room? Rate my crib.
Warm welcomes to you, Ouroboros. Long have I waited.
Mimi. We'll end it here.
Welcome. Let us verify the truth of this.
All right, well, we're facing off against Pokemon Y version now. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, I do love this game, but I do feel like I'm really not able to take the threat level seriously, is one of my big complaints. And another big complaint is, gosh dang, I'm losing my train of thought now. Another big complaint is that it feels like the plot is just very, very convenient when it needs to be. Like, oh, that worked out, like, super duper conveniently. Like, all of a sudden we're stronger than N, for example, out of nowhere after rotting in a prison cell for a month while he was out and about. And apart from the symbolic meaning, we're giving no reason to, like, assume that we would logically be stronger than N here, you know, stuff like that. So my biggest complaints with the story of this game is that it feels way too convenient at times, and I'm not able to take the threat level seriously, because we just go around kicking the console's butts, you know. Like, in the script I've written up thus far, in my comparison of Mobius DJ to Metalface is the one that's constantly proving to you that he can beat you at any point and you're just lucking out to get out of there. But Mobius DJ, which is like the closest equivalent to Metalface in this game, you kick his butt in every encounter. Like, the immediate first encounter that you face him when the party first unlocks Ouroboros, they're able to whoop his butt when they've only just figured out what the heck Ouroboros is. It's like, oh, and Noah's the only one that's able to do it. Noah alone as an Ouroboros can somehow kick his butt just like that. And he's like, well, I'm out of here. See you nerds later. And then he fights us at the Annihilator. And all of a sudden, after he got his butt kicked by one Ouroboros last time, all of a sudden he's able to be like more than a match for like all three all three Ouroboros, with like 6 total, I guess you could say, switching. He got his butt kicked by one Ouroboros that just figured out what the heck Ouroboros was. But now all of a sudden he's able to easily ward off like all 6 party members fully and intimately understanding Ouroboros. Like, okay, I guess he's a threat now. And then it's like, JK, Uni's able to like kick his butt completely. And I do like the, you know, attention that was given to Uni there, but I feel like it should have been, you know, played out a little bit more, taking place over a longer period of the story, instead of just being like, here's the plot with Uni's sphere, there, it's resolved now, it's done, you know, it's concluded, just like that, and the immediate encounter with him afterwards. So it's like, oh, I guess we kicked his butt again, and then in the final battle we kick his butt like again. So unlike a character like Metalface that's constantly letting you know that he can annihilate you at any time and you're just getting lucky to get out of those situations, Mobius DJ, on the other hand, you literally kick his butt every single time without fail, and it makes the threat level not feel genuine, you know? And yeah, we're planning on finishing it today. How are you doing today, Mika Blaze? How are things going today? So there's that, you know. Yeah, let's see here. And has lived a much longer life. Them is way more experienced. The way we've seen N move around doesn't compare to Noah, but we haven't seen Noah do anything super crazy like that, and he just has a sword, that's all. Yeah. So we don't really get given ample reason to believe that Noah would be able to defeat N at that point, apart from the symbolic meaning. Also, doing this during launch here, since I can't smash and I could have done like the other combo, wasn't exactly a super good idea. I just wanted to do it anyway because seeing him spin is funny. That's the only reason why I wanted to do that. But yeah, let's see here. Zed has also left his theater before. They were cutscenes where it showed him communicating with Noah's previous lives, stopping Zed from just teleporting behind their backs and stabbing them or instantly kill. Yeah, there's things like that where one of my big complaints about this story is that so many things about it just feel super convenient, where everything is happening the way that it's happening, because that's the way that it needs to happen to tell the story that they're telling. Like in Xenoblade 1 and 2, it felt a lot more unpredictable. Like, oh my goodness, the heroes are just narrowly scraping by. This is crazy. Like, will they be able to see it through to the end? And it's constantly keeping you guessing and stuff. But this game, on the other hand, it just feels like, yeah, everything is just gonna work out because the enemies are not competent at all, and everything is just gonna work out like super conveniently. Just go off work, see you when you get home. Alrighty. So while I do love this game, my biggest two complaints are the convenience and the threat level. My biggest two complaints with the plot, that is. And those are things I'll definitely be bringing up in my video essay, if I manage to have the time to get a video essay out there. There are a lot of things that I do love about this plot. There are way more things that I love about this plot than I dislike about this plot, like undoubtedly. But, you know, comparing this to Xenoblade 1 and 2, I feel like Xenoblade 1 and 2 was able to resonate a lot more with me from, you know, it feeling a lot more genuine, you know, was the case. Xenoblade 2 was much more unpredictable. Like, even Jin had a boost with moving at light speed. Yeah, like, we never knew Jin's true power. Like, we kind of had an idea that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, in Chapter 1, it was established that Malos on his own is already more than a match for us. And it's like, oh, if Malos on his own is already more than a match for us, then what's this stronger dude of Jin gonna be like? So when he comes up in Chapter 7, I believe it is, or was that Chapter 6? Whatever the order for the thingamabobs is there on Tantal. When all of a sudden Jin is the one that shows up, it's like the oh shit moment, you know, after that. I don't know. My best option is probably this here at this point. You know, so I feel like it a lot better exemplifies the threat level. Even though it doesn't directly show up with Jin, it establishes that, like, alright, at the beginning of the game, Jin's the one that's stronger with Malos before Malos gets his full Aegis powers. And Malos on his own is already stronger than you. So, like, you already know to be, like, super sketched out about Jin when you see him. And then the game immediately validates that fear. You know, so, there's that. I don't know, let's power charge here. And yeah, that's the thing. Is that Zed could absolutely do that, but instead he'd rather just like sit in his theater munching popcorn and watching shitty movies all day, you know, is all he does, a lazy bum. Let's see here. Sure, yeah, he always knows, so it's like, oh my goodness, he always knows. That means that he's gonna like do everything he can to stop us. But no, we just kind of run into Mobius like in the colonies that they just so happen to be like presiding over, and killing them consistently. And there's nothing that ever really comes up and stops us per se until the prison sequence. It's like, okay, you know. So, you know, this is all stuff that I plan on going into with a decent bit of depth in the video essay, you know? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he just really wants to see how the story plays out, I guess. He's just really enjoying his home movie stuff. That's what's going on. Again, I do really like this plot, but I can't help but have the stuff that's like not quite up to the same level as the previous games stand out to me, you know? That's the case. I was thinking about how to word that. Just look at him spinning there. It's so funny. Again, doing this during launch is probably not a practical thing, but I couldn't help myself because it's just so dang funny. Just look at him spin there. Look at him go. But yeah, definitely not a perfect game. Unless the ending absolutely freaking shatters everything I thought I knew, I feel like I am probably gonna like Xenoblade 1 and 2 more at the end of the day, most likely. But this is still a great game. It's still great. It just feels a lot more convenient, and like the threat level isn't really that much of a threat level, you know, is the case. And speaking of threat level, the actual threat level that it shows is like a stat where you free a colony as like Mobius threat level up. It feels like that doesn't even do anything. But it honestly kind of feels like, you know, like apparently it makes other Kevis and Agnes forces appear against you more often. But like I honestly never even noticed that much of a difference, quite frankly. But yeah, I don't think it really lives up to the previous games, but in terms of world building, yeah, this is definitely a really cool world there. I do still feel like I much preferred the worlds of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 because I was able to like look at where I was in the world and identify like where that is on like X whatever Titan. Like I can look around me and see like the parts of the Titan and be like, oh, there I am. And while I do like the change of pace of having like a more normal world to explore, I can't quite do it on the same level of like looking around and being like, oh, that's where I am on the world, you know? Like when we were up in the snowy area up above. Oh, you can do the freaking grab. Like when we were up in the snowy area of the Upper Ayesha region and the characters were like, oh, we can see the place that we started out at down below. I was like, wait, we can? I looked down and I was like, oh, we can. I would have never noticed that if the characters hadn't brought it up. So I feel like the world was a lot easier to like understand and put into scale in Xenoblade 1 and 2 because you could directly see like where you were on the Titans and it really built up the scale of the world. But the scale of this world is a lot more of a mystery. But, you know, that's kind of the way I feel there. But yeah, I do appreciate something a bit different. I feel like, you know, in terms of exploration from that standpoint, this is probably my least favorite world in the Xenoblade Chronicles series because Xenoblade 1 and 2 is like, see where you are on the Titan and stuff. And then Xenoblade Chronicles X was like, you know, the fully open world without any loading screens at all. Like if you see somewhere, you can just go there, you know? So that was the cool thing about X. So not to say that I dislike this world. I think this world is fantastic and so insanely impressive that they got this to run on the freaking gaming tablet, the Nintendo Switch, you know? I still think it's great, but I think it is my least favorite. But yeah, when the drive home, you'll see all right, Mika boys. But yeah, let's just see our final boss section. Some of the most absolutely incredible shit you've ever seen in your entire life. All right, I'll look forward to it then. In that case, ow. Ow, I'm getting punched. Ow, he Falcon stomped me. I'm about to have another chain attack come up in a hot second. There we go. Oh, gosh dang it, Lance just died. I'm so mad. Screw this game. Gosh dang it. Gosh diggity darn it. Everything sucks. Man, does everything suck. I don't know. Lance had like 22 health when I tried to press it. And then he just like died right then and there. Can I inflict bleed or is this guy just like immune to bleed? No effect. He's just immune to it. Alright. Freaking do the thing. I can do it without Lance. Watch me. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, and I'm the MVP after the battle. Yeah. Yeah, he probably is, isn't he? Bam, right in the knee. Right in the knees. Amazing. Wow. But that means I'm not going to be doing Senna's order because I won't be able to do like Ouroboros stuff with her there. Even though her thing might be a little bit more useful than Yui's thing because I don't do a whole lot of ether attacks, I'll just do this anyway, you know. This is what I'll do. I don't know. Big smackaroo. Like that. Okay. And then, whatever. But yeah, yeah, I believe it. I assume that like the DLC will probably, you know, clear up some things. And then there's things like connections to Xenoblade Chronicles X that are probably never going to be answered at this point, you know. At this rate, let's sigh, you know. What the heck? Oh, I'm in a weird position with this, aren't I? I'm in a little bit of a weird position, huh? Sure. Let's see here. Like, even the huge lore section at the very beginning of Chapter 7 doesn't even fully answer everything, just gives more questions. Yeah, that's good old Xenoblade for you, I guess. Alright, go to sleep. Sleep. Cool. Let's see here. I should be able to get the amazing here. And then just hope that I get some good characters back for my final regular order, you know. Here's hoping. Alright, smackaroo him. Smackaroo that Y nerd. Get him. Will there ever be answers to Xenoblade Chronicles X? Who knows? Let's do this time, sure. But yeah, so like the idea that the game revolves around the numbers. Yeah, that's definitely a really cool note. Definitely a neato thing there. Big smackaroo. All right. Get them numbers up there. All right. I'm a little bit so excited. I just got a burst. Bam. Okie doke. And then we freaking, can we get break again? There's no way. Yeah, that's what I figured. I wanted to go for it anyway for funsies, but, would have been per to spicy spice. Would have been per to neato, you know? Many, many stabberoos. Great many of them. One thing you were incredibly disappointed. You're hoping this world was mirror, but with bits and pieces from 1 and 2. I was kind of hoping so. But at this point, I think Xenoblade Chronicles X fans are just doomed to, like, never knowing what the connection of their game is. And it's frustrating because there's things in this game that do very much remind me of X. Like the pod that Neil was sleeping in, for example. That looks very much like the pod that Elma woke up from at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles X. And like the whole thing about with like the pods and respawning makes me think of the life hold from Xenoblade Chronicles X, you know? Like there's so many things where it's like, man, this seems like it's connected even with an X itself. Like why do all the pieces of the life hold look like the conduit in terms of their shape? They're all literally shaped like the conduit. It's like, why? What's the connection here? Why are all the life hold pieces shaped like the conduit? I need answers, you know? There's a lot of hints that like X could potentially be connected, but there's nothing that's like definitive. Monolith is just freaking messing with people at this point, you know? And I was hoping that Gray would clear some things up considering he's, you know, a Xenoblade Chronicles X character in this game, essentially. But nope. But nope. Unfortunately, Gray did not clear up any answers. I pinned a bunch of my hopes on Gray, but alas, was not meant to be. Not meant to be. Big sad. Alright, time to zoom around. So I guess this will be our last Mobius fight before Z, because we did X, then Y, and then we'll do Z here. Is the case. Plan Z! It's diabolical! It's lemon scented! This Plan Z can't possibly fail! Alright, well, big smackaroo. The big smackaroos here. Oh, well, so much for my power charge to all then. In that case. Can't we inflict break? There we go. Then I'm doing it again into my talent art, because I do wonder if it affects the talent art. Here's hoping. Big smackaroo. Look at that damage. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Ow! I started clipping through the floor. Oh, that's because there was that weird ledge. Was the case. Is he gonna Falcon punch me? He's gearing up for it. Oh, he changed his mind. He was like, nah, I kind of wanted to Falcon punch you, but I changed my mind. I don't feel up to it anymore. Maybe another time. Would have been cool if I could finish you off with an Ouroboros talent art, but alas. They don't even get cutscenes. They just... Ass. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Central sector passage. Neat. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it like lazy per se, but it could have gotten a, you know, bit better of a thing done there, you know. This is the thing. We wait. Feels like something that should have gotten like a little bit of a higher priority there. Yeah, look at all these. Look at all these. I thought Ashira was about to like walk off the edge there. Oh, this is a cool area. Derber's thing in this game, what, just like the things that are anticlimactic? All right, I'm saving. I'm saving.
It's good to keep a record.
Yes, let's keep a record. All right, let's go. Is this gonna be his theater? Oh, this looks like the entrance to a theater. Oh yeah, I think, right? Yeah, this is the lobby. Amphitheater, yup.
The time has come.
That reminds me of the entrance to the amphitheater in Xenoblade 2.
Change the world.
Well, here we go. Really? It's not voice acted here. Also, I'm dropping frames. I don't want to do this final boss until I'm done dropping frames. Is this just going to be like a dialogue that's like, are we for sure ready? Yes or no? It's waiting for us beyond here. Finally, we can wallop some sense into him. turn off my cameras and stuff for this, I guess. I'll do this while I'm dropping frames, but I'm not starting this final boss until I'm done dropping frames. Of course, this is the time my internet suddenly needs to crap out. No turning back once we proceed past this point. Are we all ready? Not until my internet stops derping. You know, like, why? Why is it doing this? Also, the recent freaking, let's see here. Yeah, this display here. The recent OBS update looks like this. It's so gross and like chunky now. So I want to revert this update when I get the chance. But look, I'm dropping frames. I don't know why. I guess right before the final boss is when my computer / internet just decided that it wanted to start dying. So also it's silence. There's no music right now. But yeah, I guess we're waiting here until that square in the bottom right turns to green. You know. Yeah, I'll see what happens when I go into it. I like to go into it, you know, completely blind without much in the way of, you know, what to expect, you know. But yeah, so we'll do the final boss once that goes green. We need it to go green to start the race. So that's what's gonna be going on here in the meantime. In the meantime, some other stuff to talk about. We installed the wiper motor in my truck. Me and my me and my little cousin wound up installing that on our own. We don't know if it works yet because there's no gas in it at the moment. So the next time that we go over there, we're going to have to bring some fuel, put some fuel into it, fire it up, and see if the wiper motor works. Because if it doesn't work, that's going to really suck. But hopefully, best case scenario, it works. Because even if it's not raining, apparently windshield wipers are something that you need to like have working, or else it's not legal to drive. Is the case. So the steps from here to get it legal to drive are replace those bolts. Get the 2 out that are stuck in there. Get new wheels and put those on there. Replace the brakes. Get in crystal glass to give us a quote and for getting custom windows there made for the front and back, because the windshield and the back window need replaced, and those kinds of windows aren't made anymore, so you need to get them custom made. And then I think just get it like appraised, registered, and insured. And then I think it's roadworthy. I think it's legal to drive at that point. I think it can finally hit the streets at that point. So while it's still going to be like a long process before it's fully restored, the finish line for getting it actually on the road though is definitely more than feasible to do within, you know, by the time the snow melts. And the snow's not even on the ground yet. I mean, by the time this gets uploaded, this will be in like December. So the snow will definitely be on the ground at this point. But I'm hoping that by the time the snow melts, I can start driving it, you know? So there's that. About time, what, to have it on the road after it having done like next to nothing for the past close to couple decades. Like it hasn't been quite a couple decades yet, but I think it was like 2005, late 2005 / early 2006 that it first started sitting in our backyard in this tent garage kind of thing. So, you know, the better part of 2 decades, it's kind of been sitting around, not really getting any love, not really doing anything. But now, after so long of being neglected, it's finally getting love and and gonna soon be into this state there. Is the square green or yellow? It's orange. It's red. It's orange again. It has to be fully green, is the thing. You can also tell because this number continues to increase. I need this number to stop moving. Or drop frames right there. Is the case. So, hi.
What have we got around here?
Hi. Hey, you. So, there's that. There's that right there. What else? What else for things to potentially talk about? I don't know. Speaking of my little cousin, he beat Elden Ring earlier today. Interestingly enough. OBS that used to happen with YouTube when you streamed on YouTube way back then. Like, I don't know if it's OBS or just like my ISP. Because this used to happen from time to time. It usually doesn't happen all that often anymore. But tonight, it just really, really wanted to happen just before the final boss for some reason. I mean, this will be super convenient for anyone watching on YouTube after the fact, considering this part is just gonna go until I'm ready to start the final boss, so that the next part can start with, like, the final boss. So, you know, anyone watching after the fact can just, like, click off this one and go to the next one without having to, like, watch the rambling here. Unless anyone really wants to watch the rambling here. In which case, I appreciate it, but, like, we're just chatting about things and stuff. But every time it turned red or orange, it would cut you off from the stream, and YouTube would think the stream ended. Yeah. I used to have like frame drops that bad. It's not so bad that like the stream is stopped. It's just like the quality is lower, you know? And I don't want to do the finale of this series with, well, it won't be the finale of the whole series since we will be doing post-game content, but you know what I mean. Finale of like the main story and stuff. So by the time you're done with the stream, YouTube would have uploaded 7 to 10 different videos for the stream. Gross. Grody. Ew. Gross. Silly doggy. I don't know. I've been trying to talk to people more. Like I'm that's understandable there. Like, you know, on my stream here on this channel, I'm very much out there. I'm loud, I'm energetic, I'm, you know, excited and passionate and all that stuff. But in real life, after junior high to high school years, I am going to that Comic-Con coming up, yes. I am indeed. But, you know, I had this social anxiety built up over a long time, and I wound up becoming that kind of guy that sits in the corner of class and, you know, doesn't really talk to anybody. Is the case because I'm worried about people not liking me. But how are people supposed to get, like, any impression of me at all if I don't talk to people? So, you know, after the years of COVID and being stuck and isolated and genuinely losing my mind, I decided that this semester was gonna be the one that I, like, start talking to people and I start, like, initiating conversations and stuff. I don't know. I don't know whether there are or not. I'll have a look-see, I suppose, is what I will do. So I've been trying to, like, strike conversations with people around me, like, pretty frequently, and just get used to, you know, initiating conversations and get better at talking to people and stuff. And, you know, most people do seem pretty appreciative to have someone, like, start talking to them and get, like, conversation going, which is pretty cool to see. But, you know, some people are a little bit thrown off, but if somebody's just, like, weirded out by you starting to talk to them, it's like, whatever. It'll, you know, sting for a few minutes, but just go talk to someone else, like, whatever. Just about, you know, finding the people that do vibe with you, you know? So in my later computing science class today, which was, like, in this big lecture hall, I was in this row on the side that was just, like, 2 seats wide, and there was this one girl that sat behind me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a conversation, talk about, like, software about the class. So I turned and I asked, like, oh, did you have any difficulty, like, installing the software that we need for this class? And she was, like, super into her phone. And she was like, I'm sorry, were you talking to me? And I was like, yeah. She was like, what do you say? Did you have any trouble installing the software for this class? She was like, no. Not really, and looked at me like I was super weird. I was like, oh, okay. And I just turned back, and I was like, well, because that conversation's not going anywhere. And then somebody came and sat in front of me, and I, like, was asking about, like, the class. Well, I was like, oh, what do you think about this class so far? And that person was super, like, into having a conversation. She was a whole lot nicer there. And I'm like, yeah, let's talk about the class. And then there was this guy that came and sat next to me. And I was like, oh, what do you think about the class so far? And we started getting, like, conversation going and stuff. So the person beside me and in front of me got, like, you know, good conversation going with those two and stuff. The person behind me was super weirded out by me trying to, like, start conversation. But, you know, there was that. But it does seem like more people are, you know, appreciative for, you know, someone else making the first move of starting conversation, you know, and getting the ball rolling. And instead of just being, you know, instead of everyone just being, like, absorbed in their own worlds and their own little bubbles and stuff, you know, stuff like that. Or in my history class, it's just like a 3-hour discussion class, like, once a week, and there's a little bit of a break in the middle of the class so that, you know, you can, like, get up, stretch, munch some food, stuff like that. And every time, like, the break starts, everyone just, like, pulls out their phone and gets absorbed in their own world and, like, doesn't do any talking to anybody. So for the past 2 classes, I've been the one to initiate conversation, which, again, is, like, the last thing that I do as, like, an introverted person. I'm an introvert that's currently pretending to be an extrovert at university, and it's weird. And, you know, the past 2 weeks, I have gotten conversation going by, like, breaking the silence and asking people around for, like, roundtable discussion. I never get to talk to anybody in that class, like, one-on-one, getting to know them, like, personally, because it'd be really weird, and, like, it's a small classroom. There's only, like, 12 or something of us in the class. And it'd be pretty weird if I started having, like, a one-on-one conversation with the person right next to me in the middle of, like, dead silence and everyone absorbed in, like, their phones. So instead I just, like, project questions to the general group and Yeah, it's a small, like, it's a very niche class is what it is. Unlike my computing science classes that are like several hundred people each. But yeah, I guess some people get weirded out for things like that. Imagine if they were in your shoes after witnessing what you did earlier in that bar. Like, they think that's weird. The shit you is way too weird almost, but yeah, the stuff that you described there, that's like pretty out there. But, you know, I just turned and asked, did you have any trouble installing the software for this class? Like, just trying to make it like casual conversation, you know, is what I was trying to do and trying to make it clear about that. But it was like kind of interpreted as like a nuisance. Like, how dare you interrupt me being absorbed in my own bubble with talking to me about that. And I was like, well, guess I'm not going to be talking to you anymore in that case. But I got, you know, conversation going with the two people next to me. This is not stopping and is actually starting to tick me off. Like, can my internet function maybe? I'm trying to finish off this game. Anyway, there's that. There's some interesting news in regards to the upcoming Comic-Con. So I guess so. So there's this channel that I've watched for a long time now, Kurzgesagt. It's a German channel. Their main content is in English, but they do have like versions that are in German as well. Gonna ask you if you finished Xenoblade at Pasta. I'm literally right before the final boss, but I'm not gonna start it until I stop dropping frames. So we're literally right in front of the door to the final boss. So there's that. Anyway, I don't really want to end the stream and restart because it's gonna be weird for like the parts stuff. Like, I'm gonna tell this story, and if it's still not fixed, I'm gonna go restart my router and do that. Will be the case. It's green now. Gosh dang it, I started telling my story. So I'll just tell like the short version of my story. I've been tuning into this channel for a long time, because like they make really awesome videos on all kinds of different scientific subjects, and they're always like super well researched and like really awesome videos. And recently they did a video on loneliness. They did a second video on loneliness. They've done a video on loneliness before. And at the end of this video, they actually announced that they started a Reddit specifically for people to like meet other people and like get out there and, you know, not be so isolated and, you know, interact with people out there more. So I think it's just open to North America, and it's just open for like the next 3 weeks, something like that. But for the next 3 weeks, they basically open this Reddit where it's like, you can kind of track down your location in North America because there's like individual threads for like specific, you know, provinces, territories, states, cities, stuff like that. And basically just like respond to the initial post looking for other people to who are interested in going to like an event. So it's completely self-organized, so people can post stuff that they're doing and ask if anyone wants to come, and you can like come to that. Or if there's nothing that seems like it interests you or nothing that you can post your own. So I was planning on going to this Comic-Con anyway. So immediately after that video went up and I saw that, I very rarely use Reddit, like barely ever, but I posted there being like, hey, I'm gonna be at this Comic-Con in my Enharmonia cosplay, if anyone wants to meet up at that event. And I got like 3 people who responded to me that were like, yeah, I'll be there probably on like this day, or this is what I'm doing, or these will be the days I'm there, like should meet up and say hi. So, you know, I have no idea who these people are. There's just names on a screen who I've never met before. But I think that it'll be really interesting, and I'm gonna try to meet up with people that I will have encountered through a freaking Kurzgesagt video and see what comes of it at this upcoming Comic-Con thingamabob. That was the story that I wanted to tell, but it seems like the drop frames are over. So, like, I guess I'll give the update on that story when the Comic-Con actually happens. Again, this will be uploaded sometime in December, and this Comic-Con thingamabob is like mid-September. It's like not this weekend, but next weekend is the thing. Hey, look, it's September 9th. Splatoon 3 officially releases now. But yeah, plot twist, it's you, Guzman, and Anima. Yeah, that's the 3. Those are the 3 who responded to me there. That's what's going on. All right, I think we can do the final boss now. Is the case. Let's go. Let's go do the thing. I swear, if I start dropping frames during oh, it went yellow for a second. Hold on. Hold on. Do you know what and it's going orange again. Oh, but I'm not actually dropping frames. It briefly went orange, but the number of dropped frames didn't actually go up. I'm gonna save right here, and if I start dropping frames in like an important cutscene, then I'm just gonna like redo this and reload that save after. Oh, it went yellow for a second. It's briefly changing colors, but the number of dropped frames isn't actually increasing. Your home Mika Blaze just in time, maybe. As long as the number of drop frames doesn't increase, we're probably fine. I swear, if my internet screws me here, I'm actually gonna be so mad. Like, genuinely. Alright. Let's go through the door. He's just gonna be in the middle of watching, like, an embarrassing video on his big screen TV there, isn't he?
Sealing away your powers is trivial to me. Now then, the curtain rises.
It just starts? Also, Ashira's fine. Wait, so there's no cutscene that starts it out? Did he go in already? Wait, did I miss a cutscene? I did not go in already. Did my game bug out? Did I miss something? Well, this final boss is off to a great start. Let's go to YouTube. Let's see here. It did bug out. Let's go to YouTube, I guess. So, because I was about to say, that seems pretty weird to put me right into the final boss fight without any cutscene at all. That seemed really weird. Well, I wasn't expecting to have to do this. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Chapter 7, all cutscenes. There's build up to it. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Let's look at this. Alright, not like this. So no one else has encountered this bug? It's just me? My game specifically just like bugged out here? Alright, let's see here. Let's just see. What display capture was this here? It was, yeah, it was this one, right? Yeah, ruined by a bug. So I guess I'll have to turn on desktop audio. Wait. No, I don't want this display capture, actually. I want to switch it to my main display. We're off to a great start. This is going to be the freaking finale episode. Like, the one that says finale as the one that, like, finishes up the main story. And this is what we're doing here. Wow. Yeah, I want to have this on separate screens so I can look at OBS and make sure that the audio is, like, A-okay. So, like, let's see this cutscene with N. Oh, my goodness. That's loud for me. But it looks fine on OBS. So I'm going to, like, adjust this to, something like this.
I'm sure I would have chosen the
and
same.
then... Yeah.
You would you?
This.
Yeah.
Alright, so thanks to Dangia25. Thanks, Dangia25. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So let's see here. Where are we at? So right before the final boss. Oh yeah, okay, so there's like the build-up thingamabob there.
I can choose the future.
I can choose the future. Yep. All this stuff happens. And then, yep, we saw that. And then, oh, okay, so like this thingamabob here. All right, let's turn off the things. Yeah, this is totally happening on my Nintendo Switch. I think this guy's got costumes that aren't like the things that I'm using, so whatever. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Let's watch the thing, I guess. I pressed 0 to unmute my microphone, not to go there. Guess what? I'm dropping frames again! I'm actually so mad right now. I'm trying to finish this game. Like, hold on. Whoops, I did not mean to do that there. I'm gonna try... Hold on. Yeah, we'll just... Yeah, I'm gonna go restart my modem. But first I'm gonna see if, like, the scene plays if I reload this save. Or if my thing is just, like, bugged out. Yeah, I think I have to. This is... awful. I just want to play the final boss. Man, see the conclusion of the story. Stuff. continue watching. It'll be like, your save file is corrupted to add insult to injury right now or something. Imagine. Come on. I'm still dropping frames. I just want to see if like the opening cutscene plays or if we do have to go to YouTube. That's all I want to see. Wait, could it be because I held like the button for like skip event here before just for this? Did it like carry that into the next scene? There's no way. Yeah, that's the way that I feel here. I'm so upset. Like, does it carry over into the next scene if I held like skip event for this? I'm dropping frames right now, so this isn't gonna be the run because the quality is terrible. But let's just see here if that's the thing. Yeah, here's the freaking cutscene now. Well, that's what it is. That's a pretty weird bug. I didn't think that would, you know, carry over into the next thing. I'm restarting my modem. I'll be back. Screw this.